What's going on, y'all? I'm super excited to show off yet another of the custom regional forms. There are 20 custom new forms I made for my ROM hack, Pokemon Sweltering Sun. Before I get into anything about these forms at all, I do want to have a quick disclaimer for anybody who's new here to check out the timestamps down below, and also check out the description down below. Timestamps will separate the video into 3 parts: the intro, the showcase, basically I'll be showing it up in game and talking about the inspiration behind why I chose to do this design and all that stuff. And then the final longest section of the video will be the in-game analysis, like move pool, stats, abilities, all that fun stuff, and how the Pokemon actually functions in the ROM hack itself. So yeah, with that out of the way though, make sure you check out the description because there is plenty of useful links. There's the download link to the game in my description, in my Discord server. There's a video explaining what Sweltering Sun is for newcomers, if you're confused, or, it's a lot of changes, it's very overwhelming. And then most importantly, there is also, not most importantly, but importantly, there is the Google Sheet as well, where you can check out all the Pokemon changes for yourself and all the other important information about the game. So yeah, that being said though, I'm really excited to talk about... Actually, no, matter of fact, one last thing for the intro. First of all, like the video. If you think this is a cool Primeape, cool Mankey, if you like these designs, make sure you like the video, make sure you share it with your friends, make sure you subscribe to the channel to see more, to play the game, all that fun stuff. That would be really appreciated. And there was one more thing I was going to say, but I forgot, so we're just going to roll with it, alright? I don't script my videos because I don't know, I think it sounds corny personally, so we're just going to go along with it. Oh, I remember now. Streams. Yeah, you can check out actual live streams of me playing the game, nuzlocking the game, specifically doing team lock nuzlocks of the game, which is a specific lock variant that I balance the game around. But yeah, you can check all that out on my YouTube channel as well, and of course the other forms in the Discord server and the game download and all that stuff. But now, with that out of the way, I can actually show off these guys. They look super awesome. I'm really happy with them. These were done completely by me. The only help I had was for the eyebrow. I did the eyebrow myself, but I got some help in converting it because, Pokemon, for example, he has emotes, right? If I press him right there, I don't know, he closes his eyes. You saw him close his eyes? So whenever they close their eyes, it's a different texture. So I had to copy paste the bolt pattern I did for the base eye and then, do that. My friend helped me with that because I was running low on time and struggling to do it. So yeah, otherwise though, these guys were entirely done by me. I'm really happy with them. Mankey has these sort of lightning bolt eyebrows. I can show them off in Refresh instead. They have 6 shinies. I love the shinies on these guys. You got like this electric blue and the darker gray, and then you got the Mankey. But as for the inspiration behind them, I kind of wanted them to look like thunderclouds in a way. I know Annihilate exists. I can't just slap Annihilate into Ultra Sun and Moon. It's not possible. So I ended up going with something more unique. I think Electric really fits Primeape's animations, like his energetic vibe. Mankey and Primeape, I think it fits both of them really well. So yeah, you can see them right here. The lightning bolt pattern, I know it looks kind of awkwardly cut off, but right above the eye. There's actually nothing I can do about that. I was fiddling around with it for hours, and it just does not. Because the eye texture is separate from the body texture, it was really tedious to make it not cut off awkwardly. Obviously I want it to cut off, but to make it not completely flat, you know what I mean? If you get what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I couldn't fix that, so it looks good enough. Obviously if you look at it super up close, it's like, oh, I don't know about that, but in battle and stuff, he looks totally fine. Really happy with how he turned out. And yes, he was supposed to look like a thundercloud, so I had a bunch of inspirations for him actually. Initially I wanted him to, let me switch over. Initially I wanted them to look like I wanted to make them look like an explosion almost. So something unfortunate about Primeape is that I cannot add anything to its back. I can't add any sort of pattern or design on the back because the way that the texture is set up, it completely ruins it. It completely stretches it out way too much and it becomes really distorted and ugly. So nothing on the back. So I figured, all right, I can go for a storm cloud vibe. Then it could just be a massive gray with these yellow accents coming out of the eye and the hands. I really love the thunder fists, like the lightning bolt patterns on his fist. I think it came out really good. And I love the color of the nose, and I love the way they came out. They came out super clean. So yeah, that's why I ended up doing them that way. You got the lightning bolts coming out the legs, like a thundercloud. I also considered making them look like magnets. I guess I can give a little bit of a lore dump as well. Again, I do have Pokédex entries written in the Discord server. I'm not going to read them out word for word, but An idea I had was like, oh, they switch over. Sorry, they like adapted to the, like they to being preyed upon by like Alolan flying types. Now they have electric powers. I have some really cool lore Pokedex entries. I'm not going to read them out. I feel corny reading them out, but I did write up some cool Pokedex entries for these guys, so make sure you check those out. Mankey, he has those cool little eyebrows. I like him. I wanted to make his body darker, but it didn't look good with the shading. It just didn't end up looking good, so I went with a lighter color. And then he gets darker as he evolves. Same for the shiny. I love the shiny, man. They go super dope. So yeah, I think that's about it for the in-game showcase. Again, here's the mini sprites. I love the way those come out always. I really like those. That's pretty much it for this part of the video. So I can now transition over. Is the music too loud? I hope not. I'll lower it a little bit. Hopefully it's not too loud. It's whatever. I'm sure it'll be audible. So quickly, I know this is kind of scuffed, but I'm just going to transition over to the dues decks, and then I'm going to hide. Actually, I don't need to hide them. I could just pause it and then open up the dues decks. Yeah. You can just see it up there on the top. All right, so not the best way to show it off, but this is the Google Sheet that you can find in the description down below. It's, you can see all the other... Ooh. Y'all didn't see anything there. Yeah, so I'm trying to do little mini teasers, like accidental teasers, for the next form that I'm going to reveal. Obviously, they're all revealed in my Discord server already if you want to go check it out there. But yeah, Mankey and Primeape, they are awesome. So Hustle in this game is heavily reworked in countless different ways. And then there are also tons of new recoil moves with Reckless. Stats, this is all par for the course in Pokemon Sweltering Sun. It's electric fighting, obviously. There are 2 other electric fighting types, in Electivire and Zeraora. Zeraora is really fast naturally and has Galvanize. It is weaker than Primeape though. It's actually weaker than Primeape and just as strong as Electivire in terms of raw damage, in terms of base attack, but obviously abilities make a huge difference, which I'll get into in a second with Primeape, because Hustle and Reckless are both incredible boosting abilities now. Hustle is an ability that a lot of people are conditioned to dislike. So first of all, the power boost is massive, right? I mean, 130 base attack with Hustle is massive. But a big buff to Hustle, several buffs to Hustle actually. So not only has Hustle been reworked to have a bunch of moves that just straight up don't miss. Also, this is formatting got messed up here. I don't know how that happened, but it's fine. Yeah, I'll fix this after the video. It's not supposed to look like this. It's kind of messed up. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's when I copied the sheets over. Whatever, I'll fix it later. So, yeah, tons of moves don't miss with Hustle. There's probably a couple I haven't added. Jesus, what happened to the format? Whatever, doesn't matter. All right, doesn't matter. Wide lens. Okay, I have to change this to 25. So in version 2.0, wide lens actually gives 25% accuracy, which means, hypothetically speaking, if you want to throw on like just a, let's be general, say Volt Tackle, whatever move, any 100% accurate move will not miss with Hustle plus wide lens now. So that's great. Not to mention, one of the biggest buffs to Hustle besides the wide lens thing is priority moves. So all priority moves in this game do not miss. So you have 55 base power priority Spark and Mach Punch, as well as some niche stuff like Fake Out and Bullet Punch. Another incredible move that you get is Smelling Salts at level 43, and later on in the game. Smelling Salts is essentially like a one-time use guaranteed flinch priority move. It has 1 PP and it's strong. It's like 75 base power, but it can't miss. So with Hustle, it becomes even stronger. It's a really good move. It can break focus ashes for free. It can chip something into range to then die to Mach Punch or Spark. So that's a great tool for sure. I'll go over all the other tools in a second, but as for Reckless, there is a full list of recoil moves on different parts of the dues deck. So here you have, you've got Volt Tackle, you've got Takedown via TM earlier in the game, you've got Rock Climb and Play Rough, and Wild Charge, you got your dual stab there, you got your coverage moves. And then you get stuff like Brutal Swing in time for Faba, who's a Psychic type user, so Brutal Swing is nice for him. For recoil, it's very powerful with Reckless, 150 base power. And you've got other nice coverage like Volt Tackle, and I gave them Flare Blitz, right? If I didn't, I'm adding that right now because I'm pretty sure I gave them Flare Blitz, right? Yes, okay, I did. So Flare Blitz in time for Guzma 3 in Aether Foundation. That'll be nice, to hit him super effectively. Of course, you also have Rock Climb and also just your strong neutral, Volt Tackle does 1 million damage as well. But yeah, Scarf is really good for a Primeape late game as well with Reckless. Mankey Defiant is really useful for the early game because There are a lot of stat dropping moves all over the place on the AI early game. Later on in the game, it's not so common. The main way you would get Defiant boosts late game would be from parting shot spam, which is, AI does use parting shot a lot, but I prefer having the consistency of Reckless as opposed to having to pivot around to make Defiant useful late game. But early game, you can get Defiant boosts very, very easily by switching in on certain moves, because there are tons of utility moves in Sweltering Sun that will drop the opponent's offensive stats guaranteed, just to help you deal with stuff. Even like, I don't know, for example, you get Battle Cry level 36. That's a really good tool for Totem Togedemaru and Totem Mimikyu, because it's just a good debuffing move. It hits both the allies. It's just really nice to have. Not to mention you resist Togedemaru's stabs, but you also are weak to Stomping Tantrum. So, yeah, you get tons of really awesome options on this mon, man. I want to get into it all, so let's do that. I'm gonna start off from the beginning of the game. So 85 base attack might not seem that impressive, but it is when you consider Hustle, and even without, it's just got good dual stab. So Hustle, Spark, Hustle, Mach Punch, all that stuff. Fake Out can get things into ranges for early game. I wouldn't keep Fake Out super long term, but again, the beauty of Sweltering Sun is you can run the Pokemon kind of however you want, and it will probably work as long as you're smart about it. And you can adapt your sets to every fight. So that's why every Pokemon, you change their abilities with an infinite usability capsule. You instantly customize your EVs. You have all these different types of items. I shouldn't really bother mentioning Quick Claw and Eject Button in this video because they're not super useful on Primeape, but they are still good for certain fights, of course. But like, in terms of general speaking, you're not going to need it on him outside of like niche scenarios and team lock, nuzlocke. I mean, I probably wouldn't mind using Quick Claw, especially if you got like a lower speed nature. But Scarf is probably good for a lot of cases as well. Regardless, and of course you have your priority spam on Primeape with your Spark and your Mach Punch and First Impression, Sucker Punch. All those moves do not miss anymore with Hustle, so that's great. You also get like Home Claws and stuff that you can fiddle around with, but its setup is not super great in this game. It's kind of hard to pull off. You could definitely pull it off. It just takes a lot of prep. Like, you have to be careful with it because of the way I structured boss fights. But back on topic to Mankey. So early game, you've got stuff, utility like Nuzzle, which paralyzes and drops offensive stats. You got Fast Encore, Recharge heals you by 1/3 and doubles the power of your next electric attack. So you can use Recharge plus Spark for Ilima and do some crazy damage there. And it's just nice to, heal a little bit and then kill something with Spark. Of course, you have, you're super effective versus Ilima, of course, although he does have quite a few Fury types and also a Swablu. So Swablu's weak to Spark, though, and it probably takes a crap load of damage, even though it has Fluffy. I'm not going to go over every single boss fight in these videos, but, just a rough plan of action. So you get Karate Chop in time for Ilima as well. Then you get Assurance in time for Dulce, who uses pretty much all Psychic types for the first two fights. So Assurance is really nice coverage for him. Skirmish is one of those guaranteed dropping moves I talked about. So it's 70 base power, always drops attack and special attack. So that's a really nice tool to have for early on. And then you get Dizzy Punches, which is a multi-hit, 90 base power psychic move. That would be really nice coverage for Hala if you need it. Speaking of Hala, he has one of the... Oh god, I'm on the wrong team. Hala. So Hala does have one of these. It's really cool. Obviously he has Mankey and Vanilla, so I gave him the Alolan Mankey. Really, really fun fight here. But yeah, moving on, you get Punishment in time for like Totem Marowak and stuff. Double Edge is just like a general strong Reckless move for early game if you want to teach it. It's not great matchup-wise versus like Olivia, but it's decent for like Plumeria or something. But it's just there for the flavor mostly. Reversal is really cool with Hustle. Reversal can't miss, so you can actually get away with running a really cool like Endure Weakness Policy Reversal set or Endure Salakberry Reversal set, because it's a 200 base power move when you're 1 HP, and then it's boosted by Hustle and 130 base attack. It's pretty crazy. Obviously, it's still hard to pull off. There's priority moves, but Endure can help with that as well, because you can Endure on First Impressions and stuff to bypass it. But yeah, Meditate, you get in time for Plumeria. That gives you +1 attack and special defense, and you also get Power Trip, which also boosts your attack now. However, it has 3 PP limited, and that's another move that doesn't miss with Hustle, so you can use Power Trip plus that and go kind of crazy there. Beat Up doesn't miss with Hustle either, so you can use that. I specifically gave it for Hao's Alolan Raichu, because it's a Sash lead for that fight in Melee City, and you can teach Beat Up and just bypass it and probably just one-shot it. So that's a really nice tool for that fight. Raging Fury and Boulder Bash are both super effective on Guzma. Raging Fury gives you +1 attack each time you click it, and it also can't miss, and it also doubles to 100 base power if you move last, but that's not as relevant for this mon. Zing Zap gives you a speed boost. It is slightly inaccurate though, so you should probably run Wide Lens with it. I already covered Smelling Salts. Fling is a really cool utility move now. I'm not even going to talk about every single little thing, but fling can function sort of like smelling salts. You can check out the Google Sheet and check out the fling changes there. Superpower is a very strong move, 150 base power, drops your attack by 2. You've got triple kick, which is an incredible tool for hustle. So triple kick plus hustle does not miss. I probably should move that, because it can completely crap on Nanu's lead. But I'm not going to scroll all the way down. But Nano has a sash lead, so you can just triple kick and kill it because it breaks through the sash. So essentially, triple kick is 90 base power guaranteed. With hustle, it becomes 135. It's a really good move with hustle. And then, yeah, otherwise you just got the coverage like Brutal Swing and Flare Blitz, which I already covered. Belly Drum, you could try to cheese with hustle plus Belly Drum plus Spark and Mach Punch. Difficult to pull off, but you could definitely try it. You can definitely make it work. You would probably just need a little bit of setup beforehand. And then lastly, you've got, coverage like Headlong Rush, which is a very powerful ground Reckless boosted move. And then Submission or Electro Assault are the end game moves. Those are like destroying, those kill like that. Very, very strong. 150 base power. They deal recoil and they drop your defenses, but very, very strong. So you can, pivot around, get your Scarf Primeape in or whatever, and outspeed them and kill them and then switch out again, because whatever is coming in next is often going to force you out anyways. That's basically about it. I don't think there's too much else I need to cover. It's got really good TM options and coverage options. It's got good utility TM moves like Parting Shot and all this other fun stuff that you can try out. So yeah, thank you for listening. If you made it this far in the video, let me know down in the comments. I appreciate it. And peace.